What up, guys? Welcome back to the video, and today we're going to talk about Nintendo and their new generation console, the Switch 2 or whatever they're going to make. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what I think that the new generation will be for Nintendo, the new generation console. And there's been a lot of talks that Nintendo should do this, Nintendo should do that, it has to be better than the Steam Deck. There's been a lot of talks like that, right? So right now I'm just going over some things that I think will happen based on what we've seen, some research I've done and stuff like that. But basically, you look at Nintendo as a business first, right? So in terms of business, they have to make what they believe is better for the company, right? So I know people think that it has to be better than the Steam Deck, or they have to do a home console or whatever the case. There's been talks like that. So first of all, the home console conversation is that I don't think Nintendo should be doing this at all, because it would actually affect Nintendo. Because now that we've seen the sales on the Switch and it's now top 3 best-selling console of all time, it's something where, as a business point, it doesn't make sense going back to console only, because the Switch was so successful, though, that it makes sense to just continue forward from that, evolve it even more, right? Now you could say, well, why don't they do, like a 3DS slash Wii U like back in the days? Well, based on history, the Wii U flopped, 3DS was successful, Wii U and DS were successful, GameCube flopped, Game Boy Advance was successful. Like, it splits the market, right? So this is something that Nintendo has been doing for a while now, and they've tried this method where splitting the market up and splitting the consumers up and stuff like that. And one thing suffers, the other thing's successful. So what did they do? They just combined it together, right? And that's why they created the Nintendo Switch, which it was a success, right? So that's why I think they won't do that. They won't keep the Switch and then make a home console and then leave the Switch and have it kind of like the 3DS Wii U, because it's not gonna work out. You're just gonna split the market up, or the people, and then the community and stuff like that. So it wouldn't benefit anyone, right? The other talk that I've seen is, in terms of tech, they want it to be kind of like the Steam Deck or better, right? So basically, it'll be a hybrid of some sort, right? And I do not think that it will be in terms of tech, right? Because people say it should be better than the Switch, but better than the Switch in what tech, right? That's what I'm assuming. So in terms of tech, I don't think it'll be to that level of Steam Deck. But if you look at the facts in here, like the Steam Deck, they barely go even, right? They go even with the lowest price price for the Steam Deck. They barely go even, and sometimes lose money because of the tech that it has inside, and the price point doesn't match, right? So in order to make a hybrid console that's as powerful or even more powerful than the Steam Deck, the price point will go up. And then what people don't understand is that market is mostly casual consumers. So casual consumers, they're not gonna look at tech stuff, or like, wow, how many frames and stuff like. For the most part, they're looking at the games, because that's the most important thing, based on their history as well, with the Wii U, with the GameCube. I mean, GameCube has some games, but basically, games sell the consoles, right? So if you don't have games for your console, you're not gonna sell that console, right? So basically, people, casual consumers, they look at games first and then tech second. And that's what people don't understand. Yes, there is some things that for the general public, we could agree on in the general form, as in frames, like in terms of the Switch, it does lack in frames sometimes. There's some games that are not made well for the Switch in terms of like performance wise and stuff like that. It is part the Switch, but it's also part the developers, or whoever made that port, or whoever made that Switch game, right? So it's a little bit of both, because you look at PS5, you have the best hardware, you have the best performance, and then there's even games there that don't run as well. You know what I mean? They don't run as good as as it should, in terms of tech. So basically, tech is good, but I think running a smooth experience is better than having good tech with buggy performance. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'll be like frames like the Steam Deck. You know what I mean? I feel like the most will be like 60 frames, because I think Nintendo does pay attention for all the complaints and stuff like that. So I think in terms of handheld mode, I think it'll be like 60 frames, 720p, or maybe 1080. I'm hoping for 1080, but honestly, with 720p and also 1080 on the OLED screen, you won't even tell the difference that much. You know what I mean? So I think visualize really doesn't matter that much in terms of handheld mode. I think the frames do matter as well, but in dock mode, I think it'll be like 4K for sure. It has to be 4K. I mean, it's been a long time coming, right? So I think 4K, DLSS 4K, and then your 60 hertz. I don't think it'll be more above that. It's these games you don't really need that much. You know what I mean? It's just casual gaming. There's not a lot of really competitive games and stuff like that on these kinds of Nintendo consoles. So I think it'll stay. I think 60 frames is perfect, and if they do more, then that'll be cool. But in terms of handheld mode, I don't think it'll be as good as the Steam Deck in terms of tech. You know what I mean? But honestly, Nintendo finds ways to be really innovative, and they do different things that's not just tech-wise or visuals. PS4, PlayStation, Xbox, they condition their consumers that they need the best-looking games. They need the frames. They need this and that. You know what I mean? And Nintendo does not do that. They just do good quality games, right? And don't focus much on the tech side of things. They've been known to do that. So the other complaint that I think that they will fix on the next one will be the Joy-Cons, right? If they do some sort of Joy-Cons or whatever the case, I think that's going to be fixed on the next console, or make better, because there's been a lot of lawsuits and stuff like that towards Nintendo for the Joy-Cons situation. And also the online thing, the servers, some games you can't, they're unplayable, like you guys know, like it's not the best, in terms of playing online games and stuff like that. But I think they're working on that. I saw a graph or a link of some sort where they were putting a lot of money towards the next project, and some of that was going towards the servers or like the online things and stuff like that. So I think something like that, where they could improve the online in the next generation console, will be a big upgrade, and people will be really happy, because this is just a general public a complaint that the online is not the best. You know what I mean? And now in a world where online gaming is a big deal, I don't think Nintendo is gonna look the other way about it, right? So I think online is going to be better. It's mostly people that do not play the Switch that much that think they need the best visuals, the best frames and stuff like that, because in terms of games, in terms of quality that Nintendo has done, in terms of innovative, in terms of portability, battery life, stuff like that, they're up there, right? They've been doing, first parties, they've been taking out games after games after games, and now with this recent Direct, they're slowing down, gearing up for the next system. So the most important thing is having that first launch of the new system with games. Because if your console does not have games in the first launch or the beginning of the year of your console's life, it will not be successful, And I think Nintendo knows that, and they're taking in time with it. That's why it's been taking so long to release the new generation, But what do you guys think? I mean, this is just my thoughts and what I think Nintendo's doing as a business point, and it doesn't make sense to go console only. It doesn't make sense to upgrade a big, hardware handheld console, because it'll suffer from things that, for example, the Steam Deck suffers, So it doesn't make sense. So they're gonna try to do gimmicks here and there to make the battery life plus visuals plus frames. But soon we'll find out. I'm hoping next year or this year we'll find something about the new generation, and then probably next year will come out and stuff like that. But what do you guys think? Let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.